All right. Welcome back to Corpse Killer here on this retro rewind weekend. It's like part three, I guess, at this point of our look at this, and I just really am. I didn't think I was gonna like this very much. I've seen some videos, I've heard some commentary on this game. This wasn't something I was thinking. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna love this. But I'm hanging out here in this retro rewind, and I gotta say, there's not much I can complain about. For those of you who aren't really sure what retro rewind weekends are, I like hanging out, playing video games, and I have for just a long time. And this is a chance for me to go back and share some of the titles that I might have played back in the day with you guys, as well as kind of share that experience of what it was like to be a kid in the 90s growing up, going to the video store, renting video games, renting movies. We've got um, Return of the Living Dead Part 3, which was definitely a huge um, rental back in the day. In fact, all of those Return of the Living Dead films were. So we're kind of like reliving the 90s here and checking out this game, which we never got a chance to look at, or I never got a chance to look at as a kid. And now we're getting a chance to look at it here. It's got these really great, um, like, um, great, if you will. I'll play this one really quick. Movie moments, if you will.
This be Blogan to take out sentries. They tough man. Mercenary fighter. If you get into camp, go everywhere. Wax everybody. How hard can it be? They already dead.
So you get these little, movie clips in between the gameplay, which is just a lot of fun. But we've got these really cool bonus videos. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a moment here, and we're going to watch some of these, and hopefully we can go through most of them. This one's kind of long. This one's like 13 minutes. So we might actually do. Oh, this one's like 16. Um, we might do like a couple of these um, broken up into different video segments here. But we've already looked at a few of these top ones, and I really like this whole idea. To me, like I said, I was looking for a reason to hate this, but I love it, and I definitely feel like this is something. Like I said, I would have gone to the video store and rented time after time. Um, the video store across the street from my house had a really cool video game selection: Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and Sega CD. Luckily, I was one of a few people in my area who owned a Sega CD. So, are there more bonus videos? Oh, there's more? Oh, there's so many more. That's so cool. I thought there was only one page. That's so awesome. Okay. So we might do a whole bunch of these. We might just do like a month of um these videos at some point. Maybe or maybe during Halloween. Maybe we'll jump back into this during Halloween. We've got a bunch of these videos, but we'll take a look at some of these right now, maybe for just this segment. But This this is definitely something I probably would have rented because it would have been available. There weren't many times when I would go to the video store and try to rent Sega CD games, and they weren't there. So if this had been available, this is definitely something I would have picked up. And I think the reason I like it, really quick before I jump into this whole bonus video portion, is the idea of it just it's being so many things. It's it's a video game, sure, in a sense. It's not a great video game either. It's not like it's a great video game. It's not a great movie, but it's like so many of these little different things where you have the video game aspect. It's a horror movie. It's a movie that you can play. It's got action. It's cheesy. There's now this behind the scene aspect to it. It's almost like somebody took like made a comic book out of Legos that's also a transformer that is a remote control car. It's like a weird army knife of entertainment, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much, and I think I would have enjoyed this really as a teenager. Like behind the scenes now is something you just kind of expect with your DVDs and your Blu-rays. Disney Plus, the special looks. You do your downloads and your digital copies, and there's extra content. So you kind of expect it. You expect the commentaries. You expect your shows to give you a behind-the-scenes look. But again, I remember being in the 90s, you might rent a movie and it would be like, stay tuned after the feature film for a special presentation. And the credits would roll and you would get like a really cool behind the scenes look, and it was something you didn't always get. It wasn't just something you kind of expect today, but it was kind of a gem to see how these things were made. And so, like, the fact that I can see this now is pretty amazing. If they had had a behind the scenes video included, like, I kind of want to go looking now and wonder, like, I don't think I really dove into Ground Zero Texas in that same sense of, like, is there behind the scenes footage of that as well? Because that's the stuff I always wondered, like, again, like, playing this and playing those games. These are actors. It's sort of a movie. You have effects going on. You have sets, costumes. What does it look like putting this together? And I mean, it looks like this looks like a film set. This looks like if you were to watch the behind the scenes of something from like the 90s, as far as like a cheesy horror movie or like Tremors, like offset, you'd have a bunch of guys like laying around with like fans and ropes and everybody go and pull. That's really cool.
John, what was this shot all about?
We're doing this is your legs, you are the seal, and you're
like, I mean, I talk about this being like 12,
the sky towards this island. So we're building a miniature of clouds that will part, and you'll be going
watching this stuff when I was like 12 years old, and
that's great. There's the landing.
Getting into it then, but like
basically you eventually make
and like I'm watching it now and like appreciating, but even then it wasn't lost on me as a kid, like how cool this stuff was, like.
And you're like 6 feet off the ground swinging there. And the second after that, that's credits are rolling. The second after that happens,
knowing we're going again from like
bush, comes racing across the field,
just going from controlling
and then
the
action. Goes right
action
into an action scene, and then Winston shows up with a machete and he throws it. And
as far as like controlling the sprites and controlling these graphics, and now we're controlling like actors and we're controlling
it's gonna start with a bang. The ending is great
too. The narrative, or you're interacting with the movie.
These are good too, the flaps.
And so to me, being 12, 13, like that was something that was that wasn't like
Yeah,
just like,
blowing the
oh,
flaps in with the wire and the
this
pins
is
and the
just the
wire.
technology. This is
With
just
a
what it
handheld,
is.
it's
Like
so
I
much
remember
better.
being like, what? Like
All the
this is
different things
crazy.
going
This
on.
is these are real people,
Watch the
and
leg.
I'm interacting with this on my Sega CD. A lot like too,
You guys feel like you're playing the game?
all my friends
Yeah,
were.
we've been playing the game for about 22 years.
I remember playing like Mortal Kombat, and the
Yeah,
idea
sometimes we
being
have been when we're shooting at the targets.
very
we
lost
have-
on my friends
We actually
that
did. That was
We
like,
actually felt like we were
it's
in
cool. It's a video
Tony
game
gets
that's
into
not
it.
like
Yeah,
anything
go
else.
down.
Like the arcade, and then the home,
Not-
Oh, you know, just basic down
the
through
console, the home
skull
console
head,
version,
which is the Makita. Not very high tech,
and
but functional.
being able to have those cool moves and all those finishing and special moves. It was amazing. It was really cool.
Do
It
those
was
titillate when
the
they get bigger?
graphics
I
were
don't
cool.
remember.
They don't do much of it.
The moves were cool.
Teaches an arcade
But
game.
I remember getting the
But what about
Sega
what about the
CD
home game? What does that do?
version and
I
renting
think
that
that
again from
what
the
they
video
do is
store,
they
and
get, like intermediate sizes,
it
so it stays, then it pops. And
really
I know the home game is
showcased the
nearly
arcade.
as exciting as the arcade game.
No, no.
Because we're like saying the same things I'm saying as we're talking. Arcade games, action, arcade. So as I'm playing this Mortal Kombat arcade, it really highlights the fact that those are real actors that are scanned, and it's noticeable. If you play the first Mortal Kombat game, like you can tell there's something different about all of the sprites.
Where were we?
But it was really cool to see like they were using real actors, and like these are real people that in a sense you're controlling. And it was like, yeah, like all of the moves are programmed and all the action is
It's all fun,
programmed,
actually.
but
Learning how to
you're
do the
controlling
game,
it, and
is
they're
really a lot of
real
fun.
people.
Just because I've
And I
never
just
done
remember
one, so
thinking
just
like
learning
that.
all the things about gameplay and all the theory behind it, and working with all the programmers and those guys is.
Like I said, I
it's really
think they
pretty
thought
fun to
this is
learn
where
all
this
that.
was going to
The
go.
actual just
Like
doing
this
of
is
it,
where
working with
video
the
games were
zombies
going
and
to
all the
go.
extras and seeing everybody put
Digitally
out and try to perform, even if they don't know what
scanning
the hell's going on.
real
It's always fun. That's
images
what I like.
Do you kind of feel like
onto a
you're
flat
playing
surface, and then somebody realized between
People
the
say that this is
64,
so. I don't know.
Sony,
It's not that
PlayStation
different from what I've done before. I mean, I've always
era,
done effects, and I've always done a lot of makeup and prosthetics, and
and
I've
this, that
done
there was
different motion
something,
control things like that. So it's not.
yeah, there's something in
To
between
me,
that motion
it's just
control, motion
ultimately
capture.
it's the way it's put together that's going to be
It's not
different. But
motion
for the actual
control, it's
production,
motion
it's
capture now.
Not, it's not a foreign thing, you know.
And to your audience, let's say, 15
And you might look at this and go, God, like, how would you be happy renting this back in the 90s and playing this as a kid in the
Hunting
90s,
zombies, which is always fun, and also
compared
it's all
to
totally
what
real.
we have in
There's,
Fortnite
there's no cartoon characters.
and
There's no
Call of Duty and things
animated
like that
characters.
today,
You
but
are actually looking at real people and real locations
yeah,
and real zombies, and you're interacting with totally real things, and you're shooting at real targets, not at something that's done animated and make believe. And that to
it's
me
interesting.
is
It's a cool
I think
idea.
something that's pretty exciting.
As cheesy it is, and you
It's much
can't
more
have
reality based in that way.
what we have today, without this. Like you can't have all these
Oh yeah, okay,
cool,
right, yeah, okay, yeah, right. We were talking about. So we have all the blue screen we're doing here,
Red Dead and
miniatures, and like I said, this set here that we've got, where this is helmets,
GTA games and all of these
skirting, where
things
he turns the nice military
without
men into zombies
without this.
under that thing. So we've got this that we're doing here, and then we also have a miniature set. We have a whole miniature team that are building miniatures of jungles and big fortresses and things like that, where the actual zombies will be superimposed over that for the actual battle screens, which look like jungle. And then we're going to Puerto Rico for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, to shoot a lot of
crazy.
live action stuff with the actors,
They
where we'll actually have zombies interacting with them, and that's the most movie-like footage, where there's little scenes and they're jumping on
paid
them, and there's little suspense things going on. And so those are basically
to
the
go to
three
Puerto
components
Rico.
that will make up the game. Although it'll appear to be, I think, all one thing when you see it.
Tell us a little bit, just pretend the audience has no concept what miniatures are. Can you just describe?
Miniatures are basically something.
Small.
can I give an example from another thing? If you saw the movie Speed, okay, for example, at the ending, they're on a subway, and there's this whole giant thing where the subways, you see it rocketing through these tunnels and ricketing off rails, and at the end it crashes onto Hollywood
Yeah.
Boulevard. That's all miniature. So
What?
it looks, miniature is basically,
Hold
it
on.
looks like a real live size set, but in fact it's actually downscaled to the size of basically a model like you would buy in a store, or like a train set thing, so that you can then
Well, they should have done
blow
that
it
for
up or
like.
do things to it, or design it in a way that you normally
Well, they should have done that for Star
would not
Wars.
be able to.
If they had done that for Star Wars, think about how much money they could have saved instead of like blowing up an actual like space station.
The actual game, it lasts. It depends on your skill as a player.
What's a video
They're
game? Can you
telling
explain
me
what's a
that they
video
think
game?
Average player could spend 40 hours, 45 hours playing this game. By the time they would finish all the battles and make their way to defeating Hellman. And you might be an ace player, and maybe in 6 hours you can get there. You might be a terrible player like me and never get there. You know, and in fact, a lot of people never get past like the first third of these kind of games. That's something you have to keep in mind when you design it. I don't want to deprive people who are never going to make it through the whole game of seeing a lot of good action and things like that. So you have to kind of pace it out so that if you do make it, you feel like you got a reward, but if you don't make it, you don't feel like, God, I got ripped off. I got to see, all I saw was the same clip of this guy getting in a Jeep, 20 times. It's designed to avoid that, so you keep getting some kind of new.
I would have gone back to
terrain
the
you
store
go
every
into.
weekend and been
But I
like,
think
I
if
just
you
want
were
to see
actually
this
to
guy in a
take
Jeep.
all of the material
I
and
just want to see
cut it
Winston.
side by side and just watch it linearly where it would not make any sense, I think it only fills about 50 minutes of video, and then it's about an hour's worth of video total. But it's
There's
the
something
way
wrong with me.
it's
I
put
love,
together, and you're reusing
like I said, the cheesier the better
targets over
sometimes,
different backgrounds that makes it play much longer than that. Yeah, I am. I actually am. I'm looking forward to showing it to some friends, and looking forward to.
I feel like
having
there's
my
some people who are
12-year-old
like,
cousin
why
actually
would
play it and show
you
me
want to watch,
how it works, because I really
the
don't.
creature from
Unless someone does it for me, I'll never make it. to the end.
50,000
I'm
Leagues
just not good enough
Under
at
the
these things.
Lagoon or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I know it's rubber hose and ping pong ball eyeballs and whatever, and it looks cheesy. But to me, that's kind of part of the charm of it, It's like the cheesier, the bet,
Well,
the
first,
more awful the acting,
you've got the game designers and the writers who basically have to
the more
come
I'm
up
drawn
with
in.
the concept, what it's going to be, basically like a one-liner, what's this about, a story, and then working with the programmers. That has
Like
to be
when the
a
reporter
map
comes
is
in and
made
she
out of all the
fumbles her line,
possibilities of the game, how it could branch out, and then someone like me
that's
is
something
brought
I would
in
want to watch
start
over and
to
over again.
visualize it more, and then artists are brought in to storyboard it and work all that out, and that process goes on for quite a while as you keep refining this thing, and then you eventually get it to a point where you know what you're going to shoot live action, what's not live action, what are the elements.
And it's zombies
And
too. I
just
think
like a
that's
film,
another
you
thing.
get pre-production, and you cast actors and actresses, and you build sets, and you build miniatures, and then you film all that just like we're doing right now. And all that will be transferred onto videotape, and it's put into a computer where it's cut together and put together, and then eventually the material is taken and
Yeah, I think if like
all the
honestly, if like Ground
program
Zero
is done to
Texas
where all the
were
underlying programming that's going to affect all these clips and when they
somehow
come
like a
on and
story
when they go
told
off
of
and all these pieces are put
zombies,
together, which takes quite a bit of time. And then
I
all
would
the
appreciate
sound
it
and
even
then
more
all
like than the
colors
alien
all blended
piece and
together,
just being
then
like
ultimately will be
guys
pressed
and
onto a CD disc and a package,
I
and
don't
then
know.
it's going to be in your store. And that's basically how it
silver
happens.
black
You go out
spacesuits,
and buy it, or don't, depending on if you like it or not.
I think it'd be cool if like you had the cameras
Okay.
and like all of that stuff, like blowing up zombies, I think that would have been really cool. So we got about 7 minutes here. How long is this one? Let's go ahead. Let's rock it.
These will be interesting scenes for you to shoot because they're indicative of interactive shooting more than any of the other scenes you've seen for the last couple days. Because what's happening here is
This
you're
couldn't have
coming
been an
back to the
affordable way
graveyard multiple times to get
to make
feedback
video
on
games,
battles and
though.
other game information that you've gotten. So what you'll see here is the same setup.
Like I
shot
said,
in a
I
number
was
of different
one
ways
of
so that
I
the
don't know
player
how many
can come
people
back
in
and
my
see
area
something
that had a
different
Sega CD
and get a response to what he's done.
and that would buy the games
So,
and
go ahead.
rent
Yeah, I
these.
was just wondering how
So to pour
you approach it from the interactive
all
side
of this
these days for
money
future shooters.
into something that's mediocre. I mean, look at all those people. They had to fly over to this location,
Well, it's actually been
travel,
relatively easy
drive,
with this crew. I mean, John, as our director, just gets it.
and then you
He
sell it
understands how the game
and try to
works. He
make a
understands how the
profit
game is
off of
played. He
a
understands, and I think most of
$50 to
the
$70
crew understands that this isn't
video
necessarily
game.
a linear story. It's a story that's made out of small modular pieces that we
Like
put
everybody had a
together
Nintendo,
in a
everybody had a
variety
Super
of orders
Nintendo,
in real time by the game system.
everybody
So
had a
depending on what the
Genesis, but
player
not
does, you'll
everybody
see
had a
something
Sega
different. You'll
CD.
see a
So
different
God, this
sequence
must have
of
been
shots and a different sequence
this
of
couldn't have been
scenes.
profitable.
So the scenes need to fit together in modular pieces so that they can be put together in any way during the show. Um, in terms of what they do differently, they're not really doing anything differently. They're shooting these scenes just as if they would shoot a movie. But the important thing is that John has choreographed the scenes so that they can all be pieced together in this non-linear way.
Hmm? He's like, somebody help me explain this. Hey, lady in the hat, come here, help me explain this.
You know,
That's good.
the scene that they're doing right now, is this one?
He's got poisonous frogs all over him. Look,
Is this one in particular?
look how many poisonous. He's got like 5 poisonous frogs.
This particular scene is battle feedback. You've just come back from one of your variety of battles around the island.
Mhm.
Basically, in the game, you have a home base. The home base is the graveyard,
Mhm.
and that's what we're shooting now. And a number of different things happen here, but
Mhm.
often you'll come back to the home base and you'll get feedback from the primary characters about how well you did in your last battle.
Mm.
The battle may be at the guardhouse. The battle may be off in the jungle or the village or at the fortress.
Mhm.
And then you come back to the graveyard, and when you do, you'll
Mhm.
get feedback from Winston and Julie saying, boy, you shot really well, shooting, meaning with a
Mhm.
gun, or you
Mm.
didn't do so well.
Shooting with a gun,
That's what we're shooting here.
and not with what? A camera?
You're telling me the other day the importance to have the cinematic moments.
Yeah, but the key thing about cinematic moments and breaks from game action is that they're short, and that they stay short and punchy. And I think we're doing that well. I think John's doing a great job of getting short, punchy scenes so the player's not bogged down with a lot of dramatic action. And it's more like you're shooting, and you're shooting for 2 minutes, and then whew, I get a break. Oh no, I gotta shoot again. Shoot, and then you get a break. And the break is informative, and it tells you something. This battle scene, I mean, this graveyard feedback scene is a good example of interactive shooting because we're going to do so many of them. We're going to do cases where you shot well, where you shot your seals in the fortress, your seal partners who've been zombified, or you're shooting zombies. You're doing well, you're doing poorly. You do so poorly that you get bitten by a zombie and then you need the antidote. All of this is happening here, and they'll all fit together in these little modular chunks on the CD that we can call up as appropriate.
Tell me a little bit about yesterday. We talked about it as if it was today. When we were shooting, you guys were shooting the.
He's like, please don't ask me any more questions, guys.
Like, is this landed
I wonder if, like, is he like he was prepped on all of this? Like they had meetings on this.
So the player starts by seeing a
That guy who just walked by in a blue
spinning
shirt,
parachute
like he's
ride
got a
down to
job.
the
Look,
island,
he's
which we're actually shooting in miniature, and then we pick up with him landing in a tree. You see the parachute get entangled in the tree, and the player.
I was wondering how they did
falls on
the
it. The player's
the
dangling from the
landing
tree,
shot.
looks around, sees what is, where he is, what his particular predicament is, and this is supposed to imply that you're in this predicament because it's shot POV. All of a sudden, zombie rushes out of the jungle and is coming up, bites you on the leg. So there we've set up the main dilemma in the show, which is you now have the zombie poison in your blood. You need to find the antidote. So you have to go through all these battles and learn about the island and travel
Dude, if
through
you
the
get
island
bit,
to find the
you're
antidote
dead.
to the
Like
zombie
they would
poison.
shoot you in the face.
During the course of this adventure, you'll learn that there's really a bad guy. The Hellman is holed up in a fortress on the island, and what you really need to do to get the antidote is find him. You have to kill all his minions, which in this case was zombies. Get
didn't
to
you
him,
shoot
find
the
the
guy with
antidote,
the
save
antidote
yourself, and thereby win the game.
earlier?
You have help. You've got the two principal characters, but you're the guy with the gun.
You literally
You're
unzombify a
the
guy
guy
like
doing
in
all
the
the
first
action.
beginning of the game.
So Winston,
So why do you need to go like to shoot yourself with the antidote bullet?
Winston and Julie give you information, hints, and tips. They tell you how you're doing. Winston's the guy with the vehicle. He'll transport you anywhere you want to go on the island. But it's up to you to decide where you want to go, who you're going to shoot, when. You have to shoot well in order to get to where you're going. You have to shoot well in order to get back to the graveyard to get more information. You have to go out on quests to find bullets and armor and datura, which is antidote to, or not antidote, but
Health.
you coat bullets with datura to kill zombies more easily. And I lost my train of thought. That's IIS. I'm really bad at this.
you're not bad at all. Yeah.
It's like 400 degrees,
So
and he's being. I haven't had a.
Instead of shooting a linear story here, what we're doing is we're shooting the modules.
I haven't
So
had
you see the same
a
setup.
real meal
We
in
shoot the same setup a number of times.
4 days.
with a
And it's
variety
like
of
108
weapons.
degrees out here, and you're.
So we're gonna shoot the good outcomes.
It's only
the
6
bad
o'clock in the
outcomes,
morning.
okay outcomes. We're gonna do it all here on this set. So
By noon,
cohesively, you won't
it's gonna be
on the set while we're shooting this scene.
120.
You won't
You're asking me all these
see
crazy
the pieces
questions.
together linearly. You see lots of different modules, and typically that happens relatively quickly. And we shoot these things once we're set up, because you're not seeing them in sequence. We can shoot them and just get them on film very quickly. So we hope that's what we're doing here.
Wow. Well, there we go, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up there. But that's just again like kind of really what's interesting is a great example of why I do these videos to give you a look at some of the games I played as a youth, and this has not only been a great example of those games, but some of the work and dedication that went into some of these games. As goofy and cheesy as some of these games are, you can see that a ton of work went into the. I'm going to revisit this at some point, but I hope you like this. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. Leave a comment down below, please. And please take care of yourself. Please take care of each other. Until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. And make sure you look out for zombies.